Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I congratulate those who have given maiden speeches, and I rise to speak to Amendment G in my name, in the name of the member for Cardiff South and many other members in this House, on the biggest economic issue of our time, Brexit. I am proud to represent the borough which scored the highest Remain vote in the country, and I have to say, Mr. Speaker, in my 7 years in this place, I cannot recall any issue provoking such a strong and emotional reaction from my constituents, particularly the young, who feel last year's referendum robbed them of opportunities in the future that others have enjoyed and now will be denied to them. But look, I accept the result of the referendum. However, whether people voted Leave or Remain, it is clear from the election that the idea that there is one way of withdrawing from the European Union is dead in the water. The Leader of the Opposition is absolutely right to say we do not need to withdraw in a way that destroys people's jobs. My honourable friend, the member for Camden and St Pancras, has already powerfully made the case against leaving without a deal and highlighted the disgraceful treatment of EU citizens. So I just want to focus my comments on why I believe membership of the single market is important. Because, in my view, access to it is both different and inferior to membership. And if we leave the single market, whatever the level of access negotiated, working people across Britain will be worse off and revenue to the exchequer will plummet. There is a clear economic argument for what I am talking about. The IFS has forecast that leaving the single market could cause a £31 billion hit to the public finances, which will make it all the more difficult to end years of austerity. But above all for me, there is a clear social justice argument for what I'm talking about. The single market is more than a free trade zone. It provides a framework of rules that protects people from the worst excesses of capitalism and unfettered globalisation. If we have mere access to the single market, we are talking about leaving this framework of rules. These are EU laws that outlaw discrimination in the workplace. They give us a multitude of rights at work. They produce regulations to protect our environment. They give consumers protections. And let's get real about this. Some say, yes, look, we could have all of these things on our own. We don't need to be part of the single market. But large multinational companies work across borders to maximise their profits and reduce these protections. One national government cannot take on the power of these people alone. And just look at the example this week given by the European Commission slapping a record £2.1 billion fine on Google because they have been seeking to rig the marketplace in their favour. So, in the end, the social justice arguments are clear, and the three main arguments advanced against this are that we cannot restrict immigration being in the single market. That is rubbish. We can restrict immigration now, but we choose not to. The second argument is that it will stop us, the state aid rules will stop us from having proper industrial strategies. Will you tell that to Germany, that has an investment bank, France and the Netherlands, who use procurement to protect their industries? And then the final issue goes back to sovereignty, about us being a rule receiver and not one making the rules. Well, look, if we want to access the single market, we will have to comply with the rules in it. If we're a member, at least we have influence. So I say to the government, look, yes, you can look at other countries as a guide, Norway, the rest, but we are the United Kingdom, the fifth biggest economy in the world, the second biggest military power, the home of Shakespeare. We created the World Wide Web. Let's be ambitious and get the best deal for future generations in this country.